welcome to Bourbon and a Baby. My name is Jay. Max is not going to be joining us today because Max has only like 3/4 of his teeth right now. He's got a big, goofy, toothless smile. He's 6 years old, so he's still not quite ready to review bourbon with his dad. And today I am going to be reviewing an Ohio whiskey. Shout out the Ohio flag behind me here. One of the best state flags out there, if you ask me. Pretty awesome flag. Anyway, drink Ohio bourbon. I started doing this several years ago just to highlight some of the great stuff that comes out of Ohio. Everybody knows Kentucky is the I don't know about birthplace, but is known as the home of bourbon, right? They've got something like 95% of the world's bourbon they produce there. And Kentucky bourbon's awesome. Kentucky bourbon's great. Many great brands, great legacies there. But we got some good bourbon in Ohio too, and I just want you to know about it. So today I'm going to be reviewing Northside Distilling Company bourbon whiskey. Northside Distilling Company is out of Cincinnati, Ohio, so real close to Kentucky there. This I picked up on a whim. I was at a liquor store in Cincy a couple years ago. I bought it, haven't opened it until going to now. But yeah, they say that they are the first distillery in downtown Cincinnati since Prohibition, I believe is what they claim. I know that there is another distillery in Columbus. I don't know if it's that specific claim that they disagree with, or I think they came out at one point and maybe said that they were the first distillery since Prohibition in general or whatever, I don't know. Which this other distillery, Woodstone Creek, definitely disputes, as they are the first, or were the first, however you want to phrase that there. But regardless, I'm going to try this out. Never had it before. No idea what it's going to be like, and we'll see how it is. So yeah, this one thing I do really like about this bottle. I don't know how we can see here. They do tell us kind of exactly what's in here. So it's a mash bill of good pop. It's a mash bill of 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% barley, and it is aged a minimum of 5 years. So that's pretty cool. Good age statement there. And this is at 45% or 90 proof. And I did look at their website. Like I said, I bought this a few years ago. So, I looked at their website and they did not have this bottle listed on their website, so I don't know if this is something that's still available or not. They had a different one that was a lower rye mash bill and a higher proof. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is. I'm not familiar enough with Northside, and I'm not in the Cincinnati area that often. I'm well north of that, and I don't see this around here on the shelves anywhere. So I don't know if they distribute, how big their distribution is, or anything like that. So I know virtually next to nothing about them. So going in completely blind with this one. But yeah, let's check this out. I do like 90 proof, a good solid proof point there. So, and 5-year age stated for a smaller craft distiller is pretty good. I don't remember what I paid. So there's that. I can't imagine it was like a lot. Probably, I would assume I paid less than 40. Just knowing me as a buyer of something that I knew nothing about, I probably wouldn't have wanted to spend more than 40 on this. So yeah, but I don't remember. So let's check the nose. If you hear some creaking, it's because I film in the basement. And Max just got home from school, so he's running around up there. So that's Max. Shout out Max. Everybody say hi. This nose, like there's not a ton going on, honestly. Like I don't even get. Usually, like you'll kind of get that ethanol at your first go. I get a little bit of that, but not strong. a little bit of like light caramel, I guess, and that's really about it. Not a very complex nose at all. Let's taste it. Cheers. Can definitely taste that rye. Like I said, this is a higher rye mash bill, 21% rye. You get that a lot up front, which I love. I love a good high rye. Typically, like, it's kind of funny how our palates change over time. When I first started drinking bourbon, I wanted nothing to do with tons of rye. I didn't like rye whiskeys. I didn't like high rye bourbons. I typically liked the sweeter stuff. Still do like the sweeter stuff. To me, my perfect bourbon is that it like starts. You get that spicy rye and stuff at the front, and then it mellows on the finish into like a sweeter caramel. It's kind of like my sweet spot for bourbon. But yeah, definitely high rye up front. And I do get caramel as it finishes. So let's see. Let me take another sip here and see if I can pick up on anything else. Second sip. Less of that rye up front, still there. Actually, kind of hits on it almost like flipped. It tasted sweeter up front, and then I started to get the rye on the finish. Yeah, I mean, it's not overly complex. Caramel, rye. That's about all I'm getting. And actually, I think it's pretty good. Like I said, 90 proof. Which is, I think, to me, kind of a good baseline proof point. I don't like to go much lower, usually. So it's right in there. It's not overly hot or anything like that. I think this is like easy to sip on. With its like lack of complexity, it's not something that I would see as like something that I'd want to sip on a ton. Because it just doesn't have like that much going on there, but it's not bad. Like, it's actually pretty tasty. I don't know. I don't know that this would be. I don't know that I would buy a second bottle of this. I probably wouldn't. But I would like, I don't know if you're like me. I like to have a lot of different stuff, and I like to. If I do share with friends, have friends over or whatever, I like to have them try stuff that they haven't typically tried or might not buy on their own. So great for that. I'm sure it would be a good mixer also, but I don't think I would want to use it for that. I personally, since this isn't available in my area, I wouldn't really want to use it for that purpose. I'd rather keep it around to have here and there. But yeah, I think even if you popped a cube in this, it would still be pretty good to drink neat or on the rocks. And then yeah, this like third or fourth sip, got that rye up front again, and I definitely get a lot of that caramel on the finish. So it's not an overly long finish, but again, overall, solid. It's a solid whiskey. I'm glad I bought it. I definitely don't have any regrets on that. But I probably wouldn't buy a second bottle. But not because it's bad, just because I like to try new things, and this isn't something that I would see myself like, I got to get another one of those. But it's good. It's good. I like it. I mentioned a little bit about kind of their dispute with another Cincinnati distillery. I don't see them doing a lot. Maybe I should look for them more on social media. I don't see Northside doing a lot on social media. But if you want a good Facebook follow, follow the distillery that they've gone back and forth with, Woodstone Creek. They're a great follow. They're not afraid to speak their minds about the industry and stuff like that, which I think might throw some people off. I think it's awesome. Which sorry to Northside for giving a competitor of theirs some attention here in this review, but great follow, Woodstone Creek Distillery. Check them out. They even called me out one time. I made a video of the 5, I think it was titled the 5 best Ohio Bourbons or something like that. And obviously I didn't include them because I've never tried their whiskey. So that I think they made a comment, something along the lines of, you know, how can you determine the best if you haven't tried it all? Valid, very valid. It was more that was more of just like the headline of the video as opposed to the title of the video as opposed to like what I was actually doing in that video. But I loved that they stuck up for themselves. So again, weird to shut them out during a video about their competitor, but whatever, it is what it is. Northside Distilling Company, glad I bought it. Probably wouldn't buy a second bottle, but still good. Again, you can really taste that rye. A little spicy up front, mellows into caramel on the finish. 90 proof. It's good, solid bourbon. Cheers. All right, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps more people see these videos. You can also subscribe to us if you haven't already. That is also a big help. And you can follow Max and myself on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are at Bourbon and a Baby on all of those platforms. Cheers. Let me add a little bit of this to the infinity bottle. Get some more Ohio bourbon in here.